Get your motor running. Boston has entered the chat, baby. Come on, you heard me. Get your motor running. Ding, 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 ding. Head out on the highway. Welcome into the Salem 5 studios where Boston has entered the chat. You got to keep your head on a swivel with me, bro. You never know what's coming. Travis Thomas.
That takes a cake. Out of
George
all the
Balekji.
intros we've done, and all these mornings we've worked together, the betting shows, everything. Times we've gotten drinks. Shout out Joyful Garden and their Mai Tais.
Shout outs.
That takes a cake. Least expected.
Get your motor running.
Nope. Also have no idea what
That's all I'm going to give you because we don't want to get sued, you know.
Fair.
Hey.
Fair.
I mean, I ain't even making any money
No more than
yet.
15 seconds.
You know. Yeah, no more than 15 seconds. I was within it. Welcome into the program. Travis Thomas, George Balekji coming up.
I love you, man.
Christian Gonzalez on the trade block?
What?
Say what? I beg your jargon. We'll get into it in this program. Also, the Sox lost last night. But are our playoff hopes lost yet? We'll talk about it with you, of course. 617-790-0928. Call us. Get in here. So much to talk about. I actually want to start there with the Christian Gonzalez. I'm going to call it nonsense because I want no parts of this. But for TV, we'll discuss it. Okay, so here are the rumors. I first heard this. I want to credit them. I heard this on 98.5 for the first time on the Sports Hub. And they were sort of bouncing around this idea of, hey, listen, this guy's going to get paid at some point $1 gazillion. He's not available. He's injured again. Vrabel, to their credit, because we see these same clips as these guys, Vrabel does look frustrated. And when he's asked about Christian Gonzalez, he gives you the coach speak. He's not going to give you much, but you sense, you're like, oh, he's upset about this. And rightfully so. You need this guy back, okay? So now there's rumors swirling that the Patriots, maybe they're kicking the tires on having trade talks surrounding Christian Gonzalez. I have two things to say before we dive in, George.
Yeah.
Number one, this needs to go to bed immediately. This is not the guy to trade. I actually think you have to work through this current injury, and you have to figure out how do we get you and keep you to where you were last season.
Okay.
You played a full season.
Yeah.
You look great, okay? This is the guy you pay $1 gazillion to.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be on the trainer's table all the time, then we should have other conversations. But that is a franchise combo with the player and the trainers and all the people involved. Figure out a way to keep this guy healthy.
Yeah.
Pay him. He becomes one of the greatest corners, if not the GOAT, all time with this franchise. That's how talented he is.
Yes.
So that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing is, in TV world, we have a segment to fill here.
Yeah.
So I have to entertain this, even though I don't want to. In real life, I'm hanging up the phone as soon as it rings for Christian Gonzalez.
The second you hear Christian, you're like,
That's it. The second I hear it, okay, I'm hanging up. But for this here, okay, I guess we have to go there. So I'll give a little credit here to Bill Belichick because I think Bill Belichick for years did a great job of he would move off of you too early as opposed to too late, meaning he'd cut you, trade you, whatever it was. He's doing it too soon. He would rather go see you do it somewhere else for a couple years maybe and say, okay, I was a little early, than to hang on to you too long. If you're going to trade this kid, now would be the time because he is, look, I hate to say it, he's injury prone. Okay. He is.
Okay.
And he's due money eventually in the not so distant future. So if you're going to move, can you get a first round pick or two? Can you get a high impact player? All right. In make-believe, I can have the conversations. In real life, I want no parts of it.
you're hanging up when you hear Christian Gonzalez.
Yes.
Which I agree with.
Hanging up
He's
hard,
an all-pro
too.
corner. I have no interest in trading him at all. Mike Vrabel, reports by Mike Reese, Mike Vrabel, Ryan Cowden, they want to extend him. They want him to work out.
Great.
It's also what the Patriots need to start doing. They need to draft and develop guys. They need guys to get to their second contract. Jalen Polk was traded, right? Last week. So
yeah, he was.
Who's left from that draft class? Who's left from that draft class? Drake May.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Wallace.
terrible.
Yeah, it's not good.
So
That
you're
guy's
saying
not playing his
recoup
position.
picks?
No, but the point I'm making is that can't continue to be a sustainable way to build a team.
Right.
The free agency spending they did, not sustainable.
Sure.
And when you get guys in your building and you extend them before a free agent, that's also better for the business of football and how you build teams.
Yeah.
They want to extend Christian Gonzalez. But if I'm a team and my home base is Philly, and I'm calling with a first and A.J. Brown. And I want Christian Gonzalez. See, now you're not hanging up the phone.
Travis has entered the chat. Well, first of all, they wouldn't get that far with me because I would have hung up. I wouldn't even hear A.J. Brown.
You would you hang on to the phone when you see it's Howie Roseman on the other line.
Yeah, respect for him, right.
And that's a well-run franchise that knows how to draft, knows how to develop. Now, look, they just drafted Kenyon Mitchell. They just drafted Cooper DeJean. But guess what? Those guys are playing in different spots, especially Cooper DeJean. And also the back end of that secondary after winning the Super Bowl is not the same as what it once was.
Sure.
And Christian Gonzalez is better than the both of them.
Sure.
So what is Howie Roseman going to continue to do? To amplify and go into that window as much as possible of winning a Super Bowl and possibly repeating. While they have the offensive lineman, while they have the quarterback, the running back, while they have Devontae Smith, if they lose an A.J. Brown, they will do all that, right? Now, it wouldn't be a first with A.J. because he's equivalent, but as the Patriots, that's a difference maker on the offensive end. And if you don't really like what you're seeing going on, you make that trade. That would be A.J. Brown and say a second and maybe a future fourth. Now, difference could also be if it's Devontae Smith over A.J. Brown. He's better than any receiver you have in your room. Devontae Smith is better than any receiver you could draft this year unless you have a top 10 pick or a top 5 pick. That changes a lot with it, too. And that's where you would go with a guy that's not available for the team into that one. There has to be that conversation.
I'm hanging up.
You would still hang up.
I'd hang up for Devontae Smith. I would not. Listen, I hate that I've entered the chat for A.J. Brown, but I'm in this chat now.
It's a team that would make a big swing because they need to make sure they do as much as they can and exhaust all resources for the Super Bowl window. That's how it comes down to. But, again, look, the injury that Christian Gonzalez had his rookie season and this one, they're not the same.
They're not the same.
He was making a football play. It was contact. He was trying to make a tackle on the outside, injured his shoulder. He's done for the year.
Sure.
This one, though, and Mike Vrabel said it, most important part of the season is the 5 weeks between OTAs and training camp.
That's right.
And he wasn't ready to start training camp. That's what happens when you aggravate a hamstring on day 2 of practice. And he had a setback in August. That's why his timeline's been this way. But he's in the building. He's in meetings. He's locked in. He's doing the recovery. He wants to get back on the field. And Mike Vrabel hates soft tissue injuries.
Yeah.
But when you're Christian Gonzalez, you're that good at a premium position, you're going to get some leeway, and they're going to give him grace.
Gosh.
That's how it goes.
Man.
But you have to listen. If there are calls being made, you have to listen.
Let's go back to this A.J. Brown thing, because I can't believe now I'm intrigued. But I am intrigued, because I love the player. Are you concerned with the theatrics, with the diva? I mean, this guy's winning Super Bowls, George.
Yeah.
And he is miserable in Philly. He doesn't like Sirianni. Him and Jalen Hurts have beef. He's not getting the ball. All this nonsense. And it's like, okay, if you're unhappy winning, I'm not saying the Patriots can't win with an A.J. Brown. I think him and Vrabel are tight, too. That plays a part of this. But, it's still a work in progress here. Drake May is not on the level of Jalen Hurts yet. And maybe he never will be, but he ain't there yet if he's gonna be, okay? And Josh McDaniels is trying to figure it out. And your offensive line isn't great, and you still don't know. There's a lot of questions here.
Yeah.
He's miserable in Philly winning. What's he gonna do
miserable.
Here?
He gets frustrated because he's a diva wide receiver and he wants the ball. Just because we don't see diva wide receiver activities here in New England doesn't mean that it's unacceptable. Because you know what? They never have guys talented enough to be a diva.
Right.
That's what you get. And he's miserable because he's not getting the ball. Guess where he'd get the ball?
He's getting the rock here.
He would immediately come in and be the best player on the offense.
For sure.
And he would build the offense around him.
He helps
would be the guy
too.
that Josh McDaniels would structure a game plan around.
Yeah.
Exactly. He'd complement Stephon.
He helps everyone.
He would complement a Keyshawn Boutte. He would complement a Pop
The run game.
Douglas.
He can block.
Exactly.
God, I can't believe you're talking
He
me into
upgrades
this.
the offense, and they are a better offense with him. But that defense is lost without Christian Gonzalez. Through 2 weeks, we have seen his value because they can't run what they want to. They can't get the same pass rush they want to without blitzing because he's an essential and an elite man cornerback. Let me throw out one more team for you.
Okay. Hold on. A.J. Brown's 28. He's younger than I thought, too.
Exactly.
I was about to go at you
28,
and say he's too old.
2 years of team control left, still in his prime and entering his prime as well.
Gonzalez is 23. All right, give me your other team.
2 first-round picks.
Okay.
Because they just got them in a recent trade.
Okay.
CD Lamb. 25 years old.
You're not getting 2. What do you mean 2 first? CD Lamb and what do you mean?
What did they just get for the Michael Hart?
Bro.
Hold on.
Come on, dog.
Wait, real quick.
2 ones and your best player.
Why is that an insane deal? Because that sounds stupid, right?
Yes.
Who makes the personnel decisions for the Cowboys? Someone that's stupid.
Jarrah.
Exactly.
I don't know, though.
You can't rule that out of the realm of possibility.
2 ones you can. I think you could get CD. Look.
Hold on. Real quick.
I'm trying to think. That would look like the A.J. Brown trade.
Let's revisit this timeline real quick. They trade Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
They get 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark. They trade Micah and say, well, the issue is that our run defense wasn't good.
And it's back.
And then, you know what? We can't do that. Then they go and give an extension to Deron Bland, who always gets burned.
He does.
And then they're still relying on Trayvon Diggs, who always gets burned.
I'm not saying they're smart.
Exactly.
I'm not saying
And that's why that deal would happen.
I don't think you're
That's
getting...
why okay, so CeeDee Lamb and a first.
Yeah, it would look like A.J. Brown's deal. Or it might not even be the first. It might be a second.
Are they dumb enough to trade away first because that defense stinks? Yes. And
yeah, but
CD
why?
Brown.
But okay, hold on. There was a reason to trade Micah, and it was financial. It was stupid, but it was financial.
Okay.
What's the reason to trade CD, though?
You recoup your finance. He's on a max contract. Christian Gonzalez cost control contract, and your defense is terrible. Dude, they let Russell Wilson light him up. He threw a Hail Mary bomb at the end of the game.
Bro almost had 500
That's
yards.
secondary. They're trying to play zone because they don't have the guys to play man. And if you're going to play zone, you have to be on the same page, and they are not. They are lost. They are a step behind. No one knows where to be.
Let me entertain this nonsense for a second. Is this a hot take? I would rather have A.J. Brown than CeeDee Lamb. You know why? I'll tell you why. CeeDee Lamb, in big moments for that team, it's like, whatever.
Okay, he had some bad drops in the opening game
Go
of the
look
season.
at top receivers in this league.
Okay.
Based on drops and where his name is.
Okay.
How's the top of the list sound?
So
I'm saying all that to say,
yes,
A.J. Brown don't have that issue. A.J. Brown will light you up from a pass pro perspective, from a catch it over the middle. I'm looking for contact perspective. He's bigger, faster, stronger. I would rather have A.J. Brown. He's got that dog in him. I don't know if CD got that dog.
And so would Mike Vrabel because A.J. Brown's his guy. Drafted him in Tennessee.
I'd rather have him.
But CeeDee Lamb, he's a better wide receiver than A.J. Brown.
That's why I said I think it's a hot take.
I will take the drops if I'm taking the upside of CeeDee Lamb, who's younger, yes, costs more money, but who is younger, has more years of cost control, again, while I'm not paying Drake May.
Sure.
And if it's CeeDee Lamb with the first instead of A.J. Brown with the second, and now you're in the business of the Patriots, where you could have 2 firsts, you could either trade up, get a premier player at any position in this upcoming draft.
Left tackle.
Or you have 2 first-round picks. And you could do something you're not going to do exactly because the picks won't be as high, but similar to the Jets. Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, same first round, same draft.
I mean, those draft picks are more valuable from the Cowboys than the Eagles because the Cowboys stink. You're going to have a better draft position.
Exactly.
I see your vision. I don't think CeeDee Lamb's on the market. I do believe, I like your take with A.J. Brown. I just think he's so unhappy there. And it's just a matter of time. Like, because they win, there's no blow-ups.
Yep.
But he's like a powder keg. Like, he's waiting to erupt. We see it a little bit on the sidelines, but they're winning the game. So what can you do?
Guess what I've just done?
You talked me into it?
I've kept you on the phone.
Yeah, you did. Hung up. You know what you said, though? And I call you GM George. It's literally Howie Roseman. Like, if your phone rings and it's someone you respect, you have to let them talk. You can't hang up.
Yep.
God,
and I mapped it out.
Done this
Here's
to
a package. Here's why it makes sense. Here's how it benefits your
A.J.
team.
Brown makes a lot of sense.
CeeDee
I don't think
Lamb
it
makes a lot
looks
of
the
sense.
way you think. Look, I don't think the Eagles are going to. They're not going to say we'll give you A.J. Brown in a first-round pick. It's just not going to happen. It could be a later pick, but I do think that's a deal they potentially make for Christian Gonzalez.
Full circle. Do I want to trade Christian Gonzalez? No. Do I think he gets traded? No.
Okay.
But these are the type of deals that would have to happen to even stay on the phone.
Sure.
And to pick it up and to have the conversation. He's going to end up being a New England Patriot. It's a soft tissue injury. He's year 3 in the NFL. And a guy like Mike Vrabel is going to get him on the right track. He's too important to the future. Not just this team this year, to the future of this franchise for them to trade.
Let me agree and disagree. I agree that they're not going to trade him now. I'm not so sure that he's here for the future. Because if this guy continues to get hurt and hurt and hurt and hurt, then they're not going to extend him. Someone else will pay him and he'll walk out of our lives.
I would be fine with betting on him, though, and taking the risk and keeping him on my roster.
Sure.
And seeing how it plays out.
Sure. Call us. Get in here. 617-790-0928. To trade or not to trade a Christian Gonzalez. Is it insane? Is your mind blown? Or do you is George talking you into this? 617-790-0928. Call us. When we come back, we'll explore what's trending in the world of sports right here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. And remember this, we've got everything you need, baby. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. on Nesson, 9 a.m. right here on Nesson Nation for Boston Has Entered the Chat. We'll be right back. Time now for what's trending in the world of sports.
I forget what planet we're on.
George.
It's not the beginning.
Let me take you into this. I'll bring the audience in. You know, we always say we talk with you, so I'll bring them in. 617-790-0928. We're all family here, so we're just talking. Okay. Well, we have stories for what's trending, right? We're talking about what's trending in the world of sports.
Yep.
Well, sometimes breaking news happens.
Yep.
And sometimes the plan changes. So we'll get to that. Let's start on plan, on script here. Paige Bueckers wins the WNBA Rookie of the Year.
Paige Bueckers.
I do want to say this to tie it all locally. UConn now becomes the first school ever to produce a Rookie of the Year in both the WNBA and the NBA in the same time. That's insane. UConn is an absolute
Not surprised.
factory.
But also like, wow.
Oh, it's a definite wow. Bueckers started all 36 games, 19 points per, 5 assists per game, 4 boards a game. She did everything. She led all rookies in points and assists. She's a straight baller, and she didn't even know she was going to win the award in this fashion. Check it out.
Paige Bueckers at their hut. Hey, shooting buckets, she's the one. Hey, Paige Bueckers at their hut. Shooting buckets, she's the one. Ooh, Paige Bueckers at their hut. Hey, shooting buckets, she's the one. Paige Bueckers at their hut. Shooting buckets, she's the one.
And I'm the last person you thought you'd see on this cool spirit tunnel, but I'm here to present you with the 2025 Kia WNBA Rookie of the Year Award. Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. Rookie of the Year! 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 Rookie of the Year!
That is too cool. So there she was on the Jennifer Hudson show. They call that the Spirit Tunnel, and they surprised her at the end there with the Rookie of the Year.
That
Really
was
cool
awesome.
moment.
I wish I was
great.
in that tunnel.
I know.
Vibes are high
That's
in there.
Fire,
That looked like the
bro.
most fun place on earth.
Listen, we are a high-energy show here
Yeah.
every morning. I feel like we're shot out of a cannon at
Yeah.
people. Can you imagine if you and I coming to the set every day had that? What would this show be? It would be insane.
Toby, get over there. Let's start
It would
the
be
Spirit Tunnel.
insane. Well, he does hype us up, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
But if we had a whole team, a whole line of people hyping us up coming out this show, this would be insane. It'd be too hot for TV.
I like that idea. We're going to do it next show.
Should we do it?
Yes.
Oh, man. I don't know. You're going to have to put me in some
You
sort
saw-
of straitjacket.
You saw how much it meant to her to win that award, too.
No doubt.
She was going through, just hyped up, like
Yeah.
vibing with it.
Yeah.
When she gets that award, she didn't know what to do. She was overwhelmed with emotions. And Bueckers was one of the best players in the league, not just the best rookie this year. So it
Yes.
was no shock that she won it.
Yeah.
It was almost unanimous vote as well.
Yeah.
She was also you opened up with UConn, both Rookie of the Year. She's
Yeah.
the 6th UConn player to win WNBA Rookie of the Year as well.
Factory, bro.
They just come out and they're ready for pros right away.
Okay, I'm going to give the number here, 617-790-0928. If you feel like George for this next story, Greg, get ready for the ISOCAM with this guy. Breaking news here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Cardi B was on a program. Toby, was it Good Morning America?
It was Good Morning
Okay,
America.
Cardi B was on Good Morning America and spilled the beans that she is indeed pregnant. Here's a tweet from TMZ. Congratulations to Cardi B, who announced that she is pregnant with Stephon Diggs' baby. Wah, wah, wah. Congratulations to Stephon Diggs and Cardi B. So a lot of speculation had been going around as we look at our boy George here. A lot of speculation of, is this a Patriots baby? Is this a Migos baby? What's going on? Is there a baby at all? George has been on top of all of this. Look how happy he is to talk about this segment. George, your initial reaction?
I'm happy for them. No, like, congrats. We live in a simulation. It's also, if you watch the clip, it's just like, as I'm watching it, it goes like, and she was ecstatic to say it. Again, good for them.
Poor George.
Offset's out there somewhere, very depressed. So let's address that. We live in a simulation. The Patriots wide receiver 1 is having a baby with Cardi B, and she's announcing it on Good Morning America.
Bro is sweating.
Like,
you see the sweat, don't you?
I'm not sweating.
You
It's
hate
just,
talking about this stuff.
You
just hate it.
No, it's not that I hate talking.
Yes, you do.
It's just
when we have Jordan Hudson, when we have Cardi B, any of the drama around sports, you hate it.
No, I like the Jordan Hudson talk because it's us laughing at Bill Belichick for
Right.
being an idiot.
Facts.
This one I'm fine with. They had a baby, good for them. It's just like the simulation we live in, like watching her say it on GMA. Like, what world do we live in?
I will
year
say
is it?
this, because I was vested here, if you remember, in terms of the drama of, because Offset was running around saying
Yeah.
it's his kid.
Yeah.
She, up until today, was denied. Well, she didn't deny she was pregnant. She just kind of talked around it, right? She didn't want to announce it yet, which I respect. And then Stephon Diggs is Stephon Diggs. So I'm like, there's a part of me today that's actually relieved. I'm glad that it's with Stephon Diggs. I'm glad that they're seemingly still going strong because I just don't want the drama surrounding the football team. Does that make sense? Like, if this is Offset's kid or there's more drama going on.
You don't think there's going to be drama after this? You don't think Offset's going to have something to say?
Well, it doesn't matter now because we know it's Stephon Diggs' kid. We know they're together. Offset's irrelevant. You know, like of course he's going to say something, but that's not drama. The drama's the love triangle. Are you with me? If it's a disgruntled ex upset because his ex is happy, that's an Offset problem. That's not a Boston has entered the chat problem.
Yeah.
If this is a love triangle and we got to talk about this every day, well, now it becomes our issue. Does that make sense? I'm like kind of relieved today, and I'm happy for them.
It's not going to go away. Stephon Diggs has to keep the main thing. You could have the high-profile girlfriend who has a much different lifestyle than what we ask of in society of professional athletes. He needs to keep the main thing when it's a regular season.
Can I say something, though? Yeah. Is the mathing? When was that Love Boat? That was this summer, right?
May. June, July, August, September.
Bro,
I don't know how that works.
You partying that hard on the boat? And y'all got this going? I mean, I guess maybe...
Is there anything... There was alleged Tusi on the boat.
Bro, like that, but that's my point. That's a dangerous boat. Right?
I'm just saying.
I don't know. The math ain't, but hey, happy for them. Can we leave it there?
It's a love triangle. It's Stephon Diggs, it's Cardi B, and the alleged Tusi.
It's not a love. You're doing the love triangle with the.
It's the alleged Tusi.
George Balekji, ladies and gentlemen. He's here all week. Tip your servers. Try the roast
See you
beef.
next week, too.
All right, I need you on this one. So Tom Brady. I'm so confused by this story. The NFL says Tom Brady didn't break any rules. Being on the headset for the Raiders Monday night game. So he was in the Raiders coaching. He was in their coaching booth.
In the Vegas coaching booth.
With the headset on, so he could hear all the plays, all the nonsense.
Yeah.
So they were going to. There was potential discipline there for doing that. But I look at this, and now the NFL saying no dice. He's fine. But I look at this as. There's never been a situation like this. So how can you make the rules when we've never seen this?
It's not Tom Brady, the partial owner of the Raiders, being in the Raiders coaching box. It's Tom Brady, the partial owner of the Raiders. Yes, and Tom Brady, the broadcaster, being in production meetings with teams that will play the Raiders, and then also being in the coach's box, wearing a headset that he can communicate with Chip Kelly to during game days.
Conflict of interest.
That's what it is. But the NFL said there's no rules against him being in the coach's box. There's no rules against a partial owner being a broadcaster and being production meetings because it hasn't been done before. Active owner of a team, active broadcaster on game days for a broadcaster of the NFL games.
Right.
What it basically was for the teams, hey, if he's in your production meeting, it's up to you on what you want to share. If anything, it hinders Tom Brady as a broadcaster. And I don't think he really cares about that. He's going to get the fat check, and he's going to do what's best for the Raiders because he wants them to be a serious football operation. But in the production meetings, you find out a lot. Players' health, how a player is in standings with the team.
You get everything.
Essential game plan, how a player is playing, big plays that they're going to have mapped out and planned up and schemed up for a second. Like, you find out a lot with the trust you build. Tom Brady is not going to build any trust with any of the other teams. Optically, it looks bad. He should not be allowed in production meetings and in the coach's booth, in my opinion. He should not. Is it getting blown out of proportion, though? Yes. But again, there's no rules against this. And end of the day, it comes down to the teams. It's up to you what you share with Tom Brady.
I mean, you can't have rules for it because we've never seen it. I guess that's where I'm at.
And
there
owners'
should be
meetings,
some grace here.
in the owner meetings where they try to get rid of the tush push, where they try to change the overtime rules, this will be addressed. Yes.
Fair. But maybe you should already did it. Because listen, you'll never know unless you got a drink with Tom. But I still don't think he wanted to do broadcasting. I think he did what he wanted to do. I think he wanted to go into ownership and do all that, right?
And then they said 375 M's.
I just looked this contract up. $375 million for 10 years. Who the hell's saying no to that besides no one?
He's 100% doing the right thing.
He is.
He's getting that fat check.
Yes.
And then he's doing what's best for the Raiders, who he owns stakes in.
Bro.
The better the Raiders do, the more money he makes that way.
Bro.
I would do the same thing. Someone comes to me, hey, you got to do this. There's going to be an optical massive conflict of interest, and everyone's going to rip into you. Okay, how much you pay me? 375? You have $37.5 million a year? Yeah, keep those checks coming. Bro. Collect those checks until they say you can't do it anymore.
I'm writing this down.
Right thing.
Tom got Raiders money, TB12 money, Patriots money, he probably ain't even touched. Giselle money, I'm sure he put it in the bird feeder out back. Flag football money in Saudi Arabia. Tom getting all the money.
He's got, and there's money we don't know of, like own a property somewhere, whatever it may be.
Man.
He's doing it right, man.
What
He's doing
a
it right.
life. 617-790-0928. If you want to talk anything, we talk.
Let me get 1%.
Pocket Watch Tom, call us.
1% of the TB12 LLC. Just let me get 1%.
You ain't getting it. Hey, we'll be back. More Boston has entered the chat.
0.5%? Tom, please. Please, love you, bro. First jersey I ever brought. Ball.
Welcome back to Boston has entered the chat here with our resident ace. I call him LD. Lenny DiNardo, you know we love him. LD, I'm going right in, my brother. Thanks for getting up early with us. And I have to know, at this point, I had all these aspirations of this team's going to win the division, or they're going to be this seed, or they're going to host this game. Now, LD, just make the postseason. That's where I'm at with the Red Sox. By any means necessary, don't blow this. Is this team going to make it? What's your gut say?
Look, I had this team winning 93 games preseason, and everybody was saying, what? That's way too optimistic. And, you know, think about the number of games that this team won by or lost by one run or blew at the last minute or struck out. George, we were talking in break about how many times they struck out with runners in scoring position or left on base. So many games. If they won a quarter of those, then they would be sitting in the driver's seat, not sweating at all. But here we are, down to the wire. My gut feeling is they're going to make it because I feel like the magic number, if I'm correct, is 9. If the Red Sox win 6 and Cleveland loses 3, right, then they are going to get in. If they win 89, maybe 90 games, something like that, maybe 88, depending on how it goes. That's the thing, though. You don't want to have to depend on other teams losing. You know, Cleveland just lost 10, basically. So, I mean, Seattle just won 10.
Right.
You know, you're talking about some teams that you're playing well or you're not playing well, but you don't want to leave it in their hands, right?
Yeah. And that's too. We've seen the teams that are behind them. The Guardians are surging. The Texas Rangers have been on a run. And now we see them tied with the Astros for the final wild card spot, but still a 3-game lead. Still a 3-game lead from getting bounced out.
That's right.
But also, as we talked about the bats, right? The lack of driving in runners when they're in scoring position, the weak contact we're seeing. It's also a lineup we've seen drop off since Roman Anthony went down. They're basically bottom third in Major League Baseball. Now, it's an 11-game sample size. It's not the biggest one. And what was great about this team, it was more than Roman Anthony, but he was so good as a leadoff hitter. What have you seen change with this lineup, the way they're swinging the bats, the way they're hitting in general, Lenny, that has led to this drop-off in production for them?
Well, I mean, you got to look at the approach, right? You got to make adjustments. Last night's a great example. This Oakland, my goodness, Sacramento.
They don't know where they play either, Lenny.
I did the same thing yesterday.
Nobody knows.
I did the same thing yesterday. Yeah.
The A's, the Athletics, you saw what they did to this squad pitching. They were just breaking ball after breaking ball, and the Red Sox were rolling over consistently. A couple double plays that got them out of key innings where they really had a shot to go out and break it open. It's about making adjustments, but you hit it on the head. The line of demarcation between September 2nd, the day that Roman Anthony went down, and today is completely different. The kid had a great eye. He was taking hit free bags. He was driving the baseball, hitting the ball hard consistently. We started to see the long ball come around as well. I call it the Kyle Schwarber effect because when he came over, he had a similar eye. He could also drive the baseball. And I noticed guys up and down the lineup started to take the same approach. The good news is Trevor Story is absolutely on fire right now. He's been on fire since after the first month of the season. Bregman's breaking out. You're not quite seeing the typical Alex Bregman pulling the ball towards the green monster. He's hitting the ball, and even through that mini slump, he was hitting the ball, but his timing was off just a little bit. If he can get right, if Rafaela can get right, who's a clutch hitter, who's just chasing. And we're talking about approach here. He's chasing too often. I feel like you could roll the ball to home plate right now, and he's going to swing at it. That's not going to get it done at the big league level. So there's certain guys that have to get it done. Jaron Duran, another guy. I want to see him use the opposite field. You start driving the ball the other way, hitting the ball in the air that way, that's chaos in the base pass. You're going to start to make things happen.
All right, LD, I've been looking forward to seeing you. You know I always reach out. This is your birthday month. I always reach out for your birthday.
Friday.
That's right. That's right. You know I got you. But I also have been wanting to see you because I want to ask what these young guns are experiencing in terms of the Red Sox pitchers. We saw early last night. Harrison, we know, Tolley, etc. What are these young guys feeling right now? I can't imagine the pressure that must be on them, being on the Red Sox alone, okay? And then you're trying to make a postseason push as well. You, I know, have some insight to that. What does that feel like? What are these guys experiencing right now?
Yeah, you said it. Pressure. And a word, pressure. And they're going through open tryouts right now. You think about it. These guys, the Red Sox want to see what these young kids are made of when it comes to getting it done when the lights are brightest, and they don't get any brighter than Fenway Park in a playoff atmosphere. And it hasn't been like that in quite some time. So I've been impressed. Connolly early, extremely impressed with consistency, with just the demeanor on the mound. It just doesn't matter what the situation is. If you give up a base hit, he's right back at it. He gets quick outs afterwards. He's got great damage control. The A's aren't stacking at-bats, similar to the Red Sox. They weren't stacking at-bats against Connolly early, partially because, he's got a good fastball. Yeah, that's great. But with Peyton Tolley, you can hit fastballs if you know it's coming. His secondary stuff isn't consistent in the zone, so guys are just waiting on the fastball, and they're driving it. Connolly early, we talked about the fastball. The secondary stuff, he's able to throw it first pitch, last pitch, 3-2, 0-0, 0-2, 1-1. It doesn't matter. He's got 4 pitches he can control in or out of the zone depending on the count. And, last night, 7 strikeouts and on 5 different pitches. So if you ask the A's, what's his strikeout pitch? Well, depends on who you ask, right? And that's a good thing. It's not one pitch he's coming at you with to get swing and miss. He's coming at you with just a huge repertoire. That's key to pitching in the big leagues and having success. And Harrison, another guy trying out, another guy with more experience at the big league level, but I was impressed with him as well, the way he went out there out west and threw strikes, pounded the strike zone, and got outs. That's what it's all about, get outs.
Yep, especially with Connolly early through 10 1/3 innings pitched. He's only allowed 11 base runners, 1 walk, 10 hits, and then has 18 Ks you've seen through his 2 starts.
All A's, though. He's not going to play the A's forever, George.
I agree, and he's going to see a lineup possibly a third time and see in the postseason. But that leads to this, Lenny, because we also see early pulled early, even when he's dealing. Now, as Alex Cora said it, good hitter coming up in Brent Rooker. They go to the bullpen. Weiser can't get the job done. What can they do about the middle part of this rotation, middle part of this bullpen, before you get to Whitlock, Chapman, to figure out those setup guys to hold on to leads or keep games within reach? Because now, again, it's talking about not against the A's, but in postseason baseball.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He got pulled after 80 pitches. I want to say 53 or 56 strikes. He was pounding the strike zone. Last time out, he threw 90. Ended up striking out 11. You strike out that many hitters, your pitch count's going to get up there. But I thought he had more in the tank. When this was going on, I was like, oh man, leave him out there. Give him the rest of this inning. It's going to help bridge that gap between the 2 studs that you were talking about. And Greg Weiser, listen, he's been outstanding this year, but he's tired. He's tired. He's thrown so many innings, so many appearances. You can see it translate into the stuff. It's just not as sharp, and he's missing over the middle like yesterday. And I don't care if you're the Oakland A's or the 27 New York Yankees. If you can't something over the middle of the plate, you're going to give up some damage, right? So, I like what Matz has done. I like what Wilson has done. These are guys, that can beat lefties, and they can also beat righties, which is important in today's game where you got to face 3 batters coming in an inning. But you're right. You got to get to Whitlock. You got to get to Chapman any way, shape, or form. And again, everybody's trying out for that situation now.
And while we're talking, Trav, real quick, while we're talking about these young guys, what do you see as what could be, what would you take? This is what I want to ask. What would you take, Lenny, as the role for a Peyton Tolley and a Connolly early in the postseason, in any capacity?
Yeah, right now, Connolly early is a starter, in my opinion. I love the fact that he can get deep into games. He's not picking on the corners. He's attacking the zone, and he's shown the aptitude to go out there and give you a good 5-6 innings. Peyton Tolley, I think he's a 1-inning guy right now. I think he's a guy, if you need someone in a pocket down the order where you can just below the fastball, buy guys, and hopefully show a sharp breaking ball in the zone so it keeps everybody off that fastball, he's your guy. Harrison, he's a guy, maybe middle inning guy. Maybe he can go out there and give you, if the starter gives it up after 4, maybe he can give you 2 or 3 innings of good, solid relief and bridge that gap and keep you in a ball game. That's what I've seen from these rookies so far. Hopefully we get in a situation where we're going to use them in the postseason.
Well, my thing is, I hate to be Debbie Downer on this whole thing, but I'm hearkening back to the trade deadline. Honest to God, if you get a couple arms who are big leaguers who can start, Lenny, then you would either just still be developing these kids, Or you could put them in positions during the postseason to come up, eat some innings up, get some playoff experience, not put the weight of the world on their shoulders. But the reality now of where this baseball team is a lot of these kids are going to be, assuming we make the postseason, okay, are going to be pitching in big spots and starting in big spots. I just think it almost feels unfair, but it's where we're at. So it's baptism by fire for these kids. I want to stick with the pitching staff, though. Last out for Giolito, I thought he was really good against the Yankees. I thought he should have won. He didn't get the run support. Brian Bayo, not so much. We're going to see both of these guys here against the A's that now these two games, for my money, as far as I'm concerned, Lenny, these are must-win games. You cannot lose this series to the A's and make us feel good about you making the postseason. What are you anticipating to see from Giolito tonight and Bayo in his next start?
Well, I mean, we're getting to the point of the season where we're going to say every game that this is the most important game of the year.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to be like that until the end of the season, just plain and simple, because the Red Sox have put themselves in that scenario, which is a good problem to have, right? You know, it's you're fighting for a playoff position. You know, it could be worse. You could be 78 and 78 or 81 and 81 like the past few years. But yeah, you know, Giolito and Bayo, simple. Right? Attack the zone. Trust your stuff. It's worked the whole season. Don't go out there and walk batters. They've been pretty good about giving away free bags. They haven't done it. Giolito, that's one thing you got to notice with him. If he walks 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, which you've seen a few times this season, that's where he can fall into trouble. I want to see him keep him off the free bag base. And as far as home runs, he's done a good job of keeping them in the ballpark as well. Bayo, same thing. Trust your stuff. That's the biggest difference between Bayo this year and in years past. I feel like he has a lot more trust in his stuff, and he knows what kind of pitcher he is. He's a ground ball guy. He knows that he's a contact pitcher. When he tries to strike everybody out, he's picking on the corners. He's trying to make the perfect pitch rather than trusting his stuff.
Yep.
And that's where he leaves it over the middle and gives up hard contact. So I think he's found himself.
That's what I love about Bayo. We saw him be a 30-game starter last year. You know he can go the distance. This part, the step forward, to your point, is the confidence of, I'm a soft contact pitcher, and maybe the best thing you do is know who you are, and at that point, rely on your strengths, which Bayo has done. We've seen him be a number 2, a number 3. Lenny, when it comes to this run, or this stretch more of that the Red Sox have been on, losing 7 of their last 11 games, and like we see last night, the offense only producing 1 run, losing another 1-run game, from a player's perspective, what can break you out of this funk? I know for you it'd be pitching, but what have you seen work in a clubhouse that can break a lineup out of a funk like this one?
You know, baseball's a funny game, and you can, if you're Trevor Story and if you're Alex Bregman, and you can pull a meeting together, a player meeting, and say, all right, guys, this is coming down to this. We need to band together. That can work. But honestly, baseball is such a funny game. Something like, hey, guys, get all your broken bats, get all your old jock straps, get everything that's getting ready to throw away. Let's go have a bonfire in the parking lot. Something like that, just to bring everybody together to forget about the pressure. And we actually did that when my last season playing for the Lancaster Barnstormers, independent ball. Butch Hobson was my manager. We were terrible at the time. Said, guys, grab all your crap that's getting ready to get thrown out. We did. We know what was going on. We brought it to the parking lot, had a bonfire in the parking lot, burned it all. I went out that night and threw a no-hitter.
Wow.
I kid you not. 5/8/13 was the only no-hitter, I believe, in Lancaster Barnstormers history. We had a bonfire in the parking lot. We were terrible before that. Little things like that go a long way.
I love that, though. I love it. Just something where, like, the mentally take it off your shoulders, the relief, and, like, you burn something, and whatever it needs to be, there's a mental wall at some point. You burn it, you put it behind you, and it's a fresh game that day.
There's also the shots game. There's a team maybe 21 years ago, there's a Red Sox club I might know about that took shots before a game.
Okay.
I'm not saying they should do that. I'm not condoning that, but that's another example of things just to get you off out of your own head.
Yeah.
Right?
Nothing against bonfires. I'm in that club. I want to ask you this. I don't know if any bonfire can fix this. Look, here's the beauty of LD, George. I'm going to give you some insight. I have seen this guy answer questions depending on the audience. So if he's talking to a bunch of seam heads, George, he can get analytical with you with the best of them, okay? But if he's talking to a casual fan, he'll answer that way. So I say all that to say this. LD, why is this team so bad with runners in scoring position? Can they get it fixed before the playoffs? And also, talk to me. Explain this like I'm a 5-year-old, because I don't understand why the hell this team leaves people on base. Help me help us, please.
First of all, let me preface this by saying hitting is hard. You're talking about guys throwing 1,000,000 miles an hour, changing speeds with movement. It's difficult, okay? And guys get hot, guys get cold. Depends on who's hot and cold at the time to drive this lineup to where you need to go. But approach, right?
Okay.
Ted Williams' #1 rule of baseball was get a good pitch to hit, right? Okay. And what I saw last night is a lot of quick at-bats, guys swinging at pitches outside the zone early, which tells me if you're in an 0-2 count, right? You got to protect the plate. You shouldn't have to protect the plate and swing off the corners 0-0 or 1-0 or 2-0. You're not getting a good enough pitch to drive, and you're making quick outs, and you're doing the A's a favor by getting out quickly by that approach. So if it's 2-0, you're looking for one pitch, one zone, fastball right down the middle. 0-2, you got to choke up, spread your feet, get close to the plate, challenge that pitcher to come in so you can kind of determine, all right, I'm getting up to the plate, I want you to come inside a little bit. That helps you say, okay, I'm forcing him to come in, right? So I'm looking for that spot. That's when you protect. 0-2.
Okay.
2-0, not the case.
I would like to point out, May 8th, 2013, Lenny DiNardo, 115 pitches, 20 batters faced, first no-hitter in franchise history, 8 strikeouts, 9-0 win by Lancaster.
Let's go, LD.
Over Long Island Ducks.
Was there any mention of a bonfire? Did they talk about the bonfire at all? Come on.
Any mention of the bonfire?
He had a great game plan, said the pitching coach. He moved the fastball around, through the breaking ball for strikes, command out of the strike zone when he needed to.
Nothing about the bonfire?
Nothing about a bonfire, but now we know about the bonfire.
Now we know. Now everybody knows. That's why, right there.
Lenny,
you're the best,
we
man.
appreciate it, man. When we have a bad show, we know how to fix it now. We'll go out back, start a bonfire. Thank you, brother. Thanks for getting up early.
Be careful.
Call the fire department.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
That's right.
Don't
there he
that.
is. Thank you, Lenny. We appreciate you getting up early with us. When we come back on Boston Has Entered the Chat, we'll examine what's trending in the world of sports right here. Roll with us. Time now for Buy or Sell NFL edition. We're going with the 0-2 teams here. Let's see if we buy or sell these teams turning it around. Are you buying that they're going to turn it around, make the postseason 0-2, no big deal? Or are you selling their season's over? Let's start. We have 10 teams here, so we'll run through these, George. We'll start with the Chiefs. Is the dynasty over? Are you buying that this team's going to be just fine and you think the dynasty will get back on track? Are you selling and you're thinking that the dynasty's over? Where are you going?
I mean, I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl this year. I think the offensive line and the wide receivers leave too many question marks. But I'm going to buy they'll be all right. Because they have 15, because they have a good defense, and because they do have pass catchers for them. And the offensive line will be fine. Rashee Rice will be back. They'll get to the playoffs. And when you have 15, you're in any game. Do I like them winning Super Bowl this year? No. Like, the Eagles are still out there. The Ravens have a much better structure overall, just to name a couple teams right off the bat. I like the Rams and that team more than I like the Chiefs, but I'm buying they're going to be okay, make the playoffs. They faced the Chargers and the Eagles. When we look back, those are going to be 2 other playoff teams. So I'm buying they're okay. You're going to say they're not okay because they're looking old. I just do it.
In that division, that team you just poo-pooed, Chargers, boy, they look pretty damn good. Broncos, no big deal. Oh, no, they're a big deal.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Yes, no, he doesn't.
Raiders
they
have
are
no
not.
offensive line.
The Raiders are not as bad as I thought.
So don't
give them that.
I'll give them that. All right.
I'm going to sell it. I think the Chiefs are in trouble here.
What's in trouble? Missing the playoffs in trouble?
Yeah, the AFC's too good. I don't think they're going to make the wild card. All right, how about the Texans? Are you buying or selling the Texans?
Selling. All the way. That offensive line is really bad, man. Right. And again, it's the issues of C.J. Stroud had a stellar rookie season under Bobby Slowick, hit a wall in year 2. Okay. The hiring of Nick Caley, who was an offensive assistant here in New England, a tight ends coach under Bill Belichick, was around Sean McVay for 2 seasons and a passing game coordinator, but never called plays. That never made sense to hire him to be your OC when you need real, actual, tangible play calling experience and a high IQ mind.
Sure.
CJ Stroud needs a lot of structure and help around him. He's not getting it up front with his blockers. He's not getting it in the play calling. He looks lost out there. He's talented. He can be good. He needs better support around him. I'm selling the Texans.
Okay. All your points are valid. I'm going to buy for the opposite reason that I did the Chiefs. I sold the Chiefs because of the division, if you remember.
Okay.
I'm going to buy the Texans here because you do have D'Amico Ryans. You do have C.J. Stroud, although he needs that structure.
Yeah.
But in that division, I am not buying what we're seeing from the Colts. full stop. I am never buying what I see from the Titans with a rookie quarterback, even though I thought they would get an upset this week. Boy, was I wrong about that. And the Jaguars aren't there. So I will take the Titans here to still win that putrid division. All right, how about the Saints?
I'm just going to say real quick, the Colts
Yes.
are going to get off to a 4-2 start. And
we have
defense,
a crystal ball in this segment as well.
Yeah,
the Colts could be 2-2.
That
in 2
defense,
weeks.
that defense with its front seven, getting Charvarius Ward back, Latte
Maybe.
Latu as well. Lou Anarumo has all these nice, fancy, exciting toys on defense.
Yeah.
And again, Daniel Jones was made with this skill set
Sure.
for the system Shane Steichen runs. When he made a playoff run and got the Giants into the postseason and won a game, go back, and that's what got him the contract.
Yeah.
That's the type of offense he's running. They're using his
is.
legs. They're not overly relying on his passer, and he has the confidence.
And they have weapons.
This Colts team, this is insane what they're doing.
It is.
I did not see this coming at all.
That's why I ain't buying it. And
I'm
I
buying it.
I ain't buying this team either.
Are the Colts on this?
No, watch
Okay,
how
well, I'm buying
quick. Well, this is 0-2 teams. Watch how quick this is. Saints, buy or sell. Look at Georgia's.
What would I be buying?
Now look at Georgia's.
What would I be buying?
We can move on.
What is there to buy with them?
We would never.
Wait,
buy.
am I buying that they're 0-2 and they're going to continue to not win games? Yes, I'll buy that.
Are we buying that they're tanking for the #1 pick in the draft?
Spencer
I'll buy
Rattler
that.
doesn't look terrible, by the way.
Yes, he does.
It's just a bad team.
All right, the Jets. Buy or sell the Jets. I was wrong about this team. I'm still going to buy because I said to start the season, inexplicably, I guess, I thought this team would be pushing for a wild card. I thought them and the Patriots would sort of be battling for the same position. Doesn't look good so far. I still believe in Justin Fields. And by the way, if he's concussed, he doesn't play this week, they have Tyrod Taylor as a backup.
Yeah.
I'll take that for a game or two. That'll work. I believe in Aaron Glenn. I'm still buying the Jets, but it's the Jets, so I plug my nose when I do it.
I want to buy them because of the defense, but I'm going to sell. I'm just going to sell. I don't trust Justin Fields over the course of 17 games. My week 1 overreaction was look at Tanner Engstrad, let him go out play, making plays. Look at him, they're unleashing him, let him go. But it's I can't buy it.
You can't buy it.
I can't.
He can't do it. All right, I'm going Dolphins here, 0-2. Mike McDaniel, I'm selling. He's not a leader of men. He's not a motivator.
You know
This
who
team
they have?
hates him. They hate him.
You know who's a Thursday night matchup, right?
Is it Bills?
It's
and
Bills-Dolphins.
They're going to get smoked.
In Buffalo, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Mike McDaniel, second that plane. At least he'll do is let it land in Miami. He's out of a job. That was a bad win by the Patriots. That team's about to implode. They're ready to turn on their quarterback.
Yeah, they needed that. They needed that win.
That defense is terrible.
Yes.
That defense is awful.
Yes.
Awful. I'm selling this team.
How about the Panthers, 0-2? A lot of hype. I kind of think you were believing in them preseason. You thought maybe they could turn things around. As I watch him, I'm selling because I don't think Bryce Young is a QB1 in this league.
Yeah.
I think he's a backup, and he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But he's not a top pick, and he's not a QB1. Like, he was overdrafted in a bad quarterback.
He doesn't have the answers when it comes to being on offense.
No.
Xavier Leggette's not clicking in the second year. I like David Canales a lot. It's the quarterback that's the issue with this team.
Yes.
Along with some others. It's going to take a while for the rebuild, but also quarterback matters here. I'm going to sell on them because as much as you say the Saints are going to... The Saints have a higher floor than the Panthers. Panthers want Arch. Yep.
Ooh, so those are the battles for the #1 pick. All right, how about the Bears? Look, this division, I think it's the best in the NFC.
It is.
In the AFC, we just talked about the West. You could also talk about the North, I
NFC
guess.
North's the best division of football.
Yeah, you could talk about the North. But in the NFC, I think that division with the Packers and the Bears, Vikings, Lions, oh my, that's the best division. I'm going to sell because of that. Although I like what the Bears have. I just think it's going to take time. I think Bears fans are their problem. Like, they're like, hey, it's time to win now, which I get, but it's like Caleb's young, Ben Johnson's new. It takes a little time for cohesion. Mm-hmm. I like the direction the Bears are heading in, but I'm selling in terms of going anywhere this season.
Yeah, I'm going to buy.
Okay.
And you had a team in the Lions that are very much inspired to kick Ben Johnson's teeth in a friendly manner, but also want to do that. This Dallas Bears game this Sunday is going to be so exciting. There's going to be so much scoring, so much bad defense. Caleb Williams can put up numbers, and Dak Prescott can pick apart a defense as well. But it's also how their schedule breaks down. Commanders could be interesting depending on how healthy Jane Daniels is. But it'd be Raiders, Commanders, Saints. They got the Ravens in there, but then it's Cincy with no defense, no Joe Burrow. It's a Giants with a lost secondary. Minnesota, I don't know if they'll have any answers on offense. I'm buying this Bears team because of how their schedule falls. Ben Johnson just has to keep Caleb Williams within structure to a point. Let him be creative, let him be explosive, but keep him in structure to a point. Rome Odunze is really good.
He really, that's what I'm saying. They have the weapons. All right, how about the Browns? Never believed to begin with. Selling. I mean, it's the Browns. What are we talking about? You should be playing Shador Sanders.
Good defense, really good defense.
You guys are idiots. They have a great defense.
Team, let me just say real quick how agonizing it is that they gave that contract to Deshaun Watson. That is a team that drafted so well in every single position group room. Every single one.
All of them.
Every layer of the defense, on the offensive line, with the skill group, with the running backs.
Yes.
And then they gave all that money, 100% guaranteed, to a guy that was a horrible human off the field and did not play football for over 700 days. And guess what? Karma caught up to him.
Yep.
The Haslams are morons, and they ruined all the right moves made by Andrew Berry, all the great coaching made by Kevin Stefanski. The Browns are terrible, and you know what? The Haslams deserve it because you stink.
Yeah!
I'm sorry for any Cleveland fans. You guys do not deserve this, but the Haslams are terrible human beings. I hate you, Haslams.
Yeah.
I hate you.
I hate you, too.
You deserve it.
I wish we had the poop emoji. All right, the Titans. Sell. They're in a rebuild. I like Cam Ward.
Yes.
He's the truth. But they're in a rebuild.
Let me buy Cam Ward. Let me buy Elika Yomenor. That's a real connection there.
Deal.
Let me buy Gunnar Helm. That's a real connection there.
Deal.
But it's not all there together yet.
Yes, so sell
So I'm
in
selling
totality.
them.
We agree on that. All right, last one. I'm curious to get your thoughts on this because this is another team you had as a sleeper, the Giants. I think it's over. I'm selling. Turn the page to Jackson Dart. What are they doing? But I'm curious to get your thoughts because you actually had expectations for them. I did not. I thought they would stink, and they stink.
I had expectations that eventually they'd flip it to Jameis, but I think he's a long-term backup there, and they don't even want him to start. It'd be him. But Kansas City, Los Angeles Chargers, Philly, Denver, Philly, San Francisco.
Yikes.
Those are all in their upcoming schedule. You sprinkle in the Saints in that one.
Loss.
I'm selling the Giants.
Yeah.
I'm selling Russell Wilson.
Okay.
And he's not the answer. He never was. I never understood why they brought him in. You should have brought in Jameis, let him start. He has such a higher ceiling, much lower floor, but he can win you games. And I also just don't know the longevity of Brian Dable. This defense doesn't look in tune. And I'm not going to overreact to a really awful Cowboys secondary
I was gonna say,
and defense. That was a fun game.
You're slandering Russ. He threw for 450 and 3 touchdowns.
Against one of the worst defenses
but it was a
in
terrible
football.
Defense.
Come on, we have to give context.
Terrible defense.
You can put up the numbers. That was a terrible defense.
Terrible defense.
Mac Jones looked terrific
Facts.
against the Saints.
Facts. In a system that's catered to him. That's facts. 617-790-0928. You want to talk any sports with us? You want to play buy or sell with us? Bring it on. Call us. The party's over here on Nesson, but it continues on Nesson Nation. Come roll with us. Remember this. Get the latest up-to-date live. We've got everything right here, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. right here on Nesson, 9 a.m. on Nesson Nation, every Monday through Friday.
It continues for everyone but the Haslams. You're not invited.